Oh, the movie I thought was great, and I really enjoyed like the story arc on the first part, but the whole unification of the tribes, I kind of got lost at some point, like halfway in. It like was a disruptive change to the new tribe, and it was like, okay, where are we at now, right? I almost feel like the technique of one of the films earlier tonight where they had the parallel universe, the I Can't Sleep, like if they would have approached it where they gave a piece of each tribe early on, maybe it would have been different, I don't know, but it just seemed disruptive to me that the way it came together. And then the chorus at the end, I think, brought it all together, the unification, and that made sense. It brought it back for me at that point. So,
the opening shot where the hand is of the earth, okay, that's what I got. We are of the earth. And then when the woman is bleeding, the earth is crying because we're destroying it. Those are the men at work, pounding away the earth, digging it up, destroying it. And then the unification or the harmony, whispering in their ear, do you not see what you're doing? Put down your tools and your weapons, and let's embrace. Otherwise, we have no home.
Something I noticed was the instruments that were being played. For the spirits, they were playing what I assume are traditional Native American instruments, except for the one black-winged one, which was playing a violin. And I'm wondering if the lightness of the spirit that got them to stop mining was the good Native American, and the dark was supposed to be maybe European invasion brought along with the European instrument.
So I saw the didgeridoo, the berimbau, but I know those instruments from capoeira. So who knows? I don't know enough of different tribes, and I don't know. I'm too ignorant to the culture to really know. I don't know who can really claim instruments or where they originate or anything, but I do love the tone and the visual effect that it added by having those. But I think that might be an interesting point, honestly.
Yeah, I thought that was remarkable. I think what I appreciated most is there's a really, really great balance between kind of like a rigidity and a discipline from the actors, the dancers, the director. You could tell they were all incredibly talented, but they also kind of had a looseness and a freedom to themselves, which kind of put me at ease. And I think the same is true for the storyline, like she was saying earlier. I didn't need to explain everything to you. They kind of kept it loose, and they gave a lot of respect to the audience and knew that we would know what they were trying to express to us, but also kept us interested at the same time. So, yeah.
So I absolutely loved the last one. It's just like I like different cultures and to experience them, and here they felt like a different culture, and the landscape was amazing. The costume designs were so cool. Like, I don't know how you made that. Like, it's amazing. The art and all the details, like on their bodies and stuff, I thought that was really cool. And even though there was a bunch of things happening, and the story was very well developed, like you completely understood what was happening. Maybe slightly different variations, but you knew something was happening with like Mother Nature and other things that was very clearly defined. Even though at the beginning you're like, who is she? Then you kind of see, okay, she's controlling these beasts. She's this formation that came out of rock. Like, it's really cool. And then at the end there's that quote, so you kind of understand more what it's about. But everything was really, really well developed, and the dancing, like, I don't know, I was blown away, phenomenal, and I love the music. It was really, really nice.
I enjoyed the message behind it, as well as the mixture of cultures. Like, I noticed Native American culture, as well as Brazilian culture, like with the instrument that you mentioned, as well as some of the movements. They look like they directly related to capoeira. So really like that aspect, and just one scene in particular really stuck out, and I think that's when it really honed in on the message, is when the workers were in the mine, essentially, and they were, hitting the rocks with the tools, and their actions were directly affecting Mother Nature, and they were essentially killing her. And I think that was just kind of to elaborate, or just kind of to create the narrative, like how we as humans sometimes get in these routines, like whether we're going to our jobs and things like that, and we don't realize the impact that we're leaving on the earth, and how we're essentially taken away from its natural resources. So when the spirit came through and just kind of whispered in their ear, and one of the guys really did like a really good job acting like, oh, you know, I see like the errors of my ways. And then he just started to move, and, you know, instead of taking away from the earth, he started to, you know, celebrate it. So that's one aspect that I got from it, but I really enjoyed that film as well.
The thing I found interesting was the fact that I thought the fancy dancer was absolutely beautiful. And I know the movie was a prayer, but at the same time, to awaken us to the situation going on, but at the same time I found myself feeling very calm, very comforted by that dancing in particular. So I really liked it.
Yeah, I'd like to agree with what he said about us, you know, obstructing, you know, Mother Nature, and it reminded me of a quote I heard the other day, is about how, you know, maybe, you know, when you see a deer cross the road, you know, maybe it's not the deer that's obstructing the road, maybe it's the road obstructing the forest. So it kind of brought that back to where